What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I feel well, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubt. And I have my doubt that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. That we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everybody's been well. Another day. Another week. I know last week ended on a, well, there are so many areas that enough is enough. And politics has long been one of those areas. And it frustrates me when entire groups of people are misled to the point that they don't even understand what they represent. And, you know, the crossover from freedom to tyranny really isn't that far. It's really not. Give you a good example. And I won't call out the channel for a change, but they were talking about more or less people needing to be made to stand for the flag and stuff like that. Because if they don't want to stand for the flag, then they should go to some place like North Korea. Now, remind you, this is a very, very, very hardcore conservative. Does not even realize that what they represent is actually nationalism, the very same damn kind that Hitler forced upon the people. And to me, that's just insane. Hey, our founding fathers wanted you to be able to speak up and speak out. That was the whole damn point. I'm not saying that burning the American flag would have put a smile on their face, but they damn well wouldn't have stopped somebody from doing it either. Because they knew. They had just fought that lesson. And you see, now it's been over a couple of 100 years. I guess it's time we forgot again. So unfortunately, it's a cycle like everything else. And it'll run its course. Because when it comes to large masses of people, most of the time, the M is silent. So, anywho, got some kind of weird news yesterday morning. And I don't know where to put it. I really don't. I don't know where I'm supposed to put it. I know where I put it. But I don't know if that's where I'm supposed to put it. It was brought to my attention that I guess a little over a week ago, 11 days or so ago, my oldest son's mother passed away, and I didn't hear about it until just yesterday. Not like we had been in contact. We haven't been in contact since we split up. Actually, there was one time after we split up, which was actually kind of a humorous moment, but nonetheless, that was the last time that I had seen her. Yeah, I don't, and I'm just being honest, I don't have no love. I despise people. If you're going to tell lies about me, yeah, I got no use for you. And there was a long story. You had a lot of stuff, but I had often said an old saying here on this show, and it was her that I learned that lesson. My dad taught me those lessons about the biggest one, and this is a very important lesson, because I was the kind of cat that would choose every damn battle that came my way, because I enjoyed them. And my dad kept trying to teach me better, and I was a hard head. But I had this, I don't know, sense once in a while that something just told me, you need to listen to that old man. Didn't happen real often, but once in a while it indeed happened. And it involved me and her splitting up. And, you know, just like the typical, there's just a bunch of nonsense involved. And with the typical, with the way that the state and the court systems are, especially in some states, Illinois being one, if you're a male, well, you're pretty well screwed from the go. And it doesn't much matter in most cases what the mother does. It's just really that bizarre. And put it this way, there was actually people told by the police that somebody had better get that boy away from her before somebody else had to step in. And that is indeed when somebody, his grandmother, had stepped in and started taking care of him. However, my dad taught me a lesson. Mike, sometimes you just got to sit back, understand that sometimes the right people, all you have to do is give them enough rope. They'll hang themselves. All you have to do is give them enough rope. Okay, old man. I'll take you up on the advice. We'll see how it goes. That was the best advice my dad could have given me. Because let me tell you what, those court systems will turn you inside out every which way but loose. This is also the same person that I had to go to court and battle for 2 years simply to get the name changed on the support benefits that my boy was getting. Why? Because the grandmother, whom was legal guardian for my son, it was never in the cards or in the picture that Mike possibly be able to take, and that I find from the get-go, even then I found complete bullshit. Was I absolutely ready to take on single fatherhood at that moment in time? Hell to the no. But like many, many others, I would have learned the way had I been given the chance. But you can't give a guy custody of the kid. Oh my God. Anyway, I battled 2 years in court to get that name changed on that child support check because I was getting a little bit pissed off that the funds that were being received in order to care for my son were coming in the mother's name, and she was showing up before the grandmother got home, taking the check out of the mail and going and cashing it so she had money to party. Fought 2 years in court just to get that freaking name changed on that child support check to block that from happening. So again, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it, but I honestly don't feel a whole lot. It is what it is. So, I don't know. Sounds strange. Who knows? Who knows? But anywho, such is life, and I suppose death. Other than that, like I said, just kind of surreal. It's just kind of like, wow, that's kind of weird. But, I don't know. I haven't talked to my boy in some years. It's been since, well, I talked to him in 2014 one time, I think, and that was the last time I talked to him. Again, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, that my last conversation with him, I called out his mother, and I don't think it sat too well with him. But I feel I had a right to be upset. I had done everything I could to be there to the best of my ability that I was allowed, which was every other weekend, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. And that's all I was allowed. At any moment in time, I would have absolutely taken the chance to be a full-time dad to him. But of course, no, you can't do that. Well, anyway, I was there whenever and however I could be. Not saying I'm perfect, never have been, never will be. But I tried. And unfortunately, for him, his mother really wasn't all that interested for, I know, a good majority of the time. In fact, there were many years, about the only time he would see his mom was Christmas time, when she would show up to get her Christmas present. So, that's a bit messed up. But, I was a little upset because I was moving out of state, and I had no idea when I'd be able to see him again. And he took the opportunity to go camping with my mom. Me and my mom don't get along. And I was extremely upset about that because it's like they go camping all the time. It's not like it was a special event. Anyway, that's, I believe, what pissed him off, and he hasn't spoke to me since. So, I'm not going to cherry coat anything for anyone. I'm not going to lie for anyone, including myself. I have told many people that if you don't want to know the answer, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask me. Because I'm the guy that will tell it. I think that everything that makes a person lies within that truth, lies within the integrity that comes from that truth. And I don't know. Maybe it's because of the life I've lived, the bullshit that I've dealt with. Truth is the most important thing to me. Anywho, like I say, just surreal. Don't know where I'm supposed to put it. I know where I put it. I don't know where I'm supposed to put it. So I'll just leave it where it's at. unless I find a better place for it. Does that make any sense? For one, I don't deal with death well. Period. Exclamation mark. I just don't. I don't know where to put that. I really don't. Let's see. I do got some news. I suppose you may have came here for that. Dog. Black dog. Black dog. Oh, here it comes. Oh, no. We're going to be lazy. Been messing with her. Yeah, pretty much all day. Normal day. If we see a dog going by, somebody walking their dog, we'll just casually say dog or something like that, And half the time she'll lose her shit and jump up and look out the window, and then it's all on. But other times she just ignores us. But just because we're talking about dogs, and she's learned this, just because we're talking about dogs and or cats or any other freaking kind of animal, doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be one out there. So, because she's she's caught on to the bullshit game too. Anyway. I got some news. The first article, this is something we're probably going to want to pay close attention to. And hang on, hang on. Yeah. I want to make sure to put that one up too. Anywho, this is something that we're going to want to keep a pretty good close eye on, because it's something that could spark in a very, very big way in a hurry, because it involves a NATO country. So, you got this deal that I'm sure you're aware of with Belarus, where Prigozhin, whatever the hell they call themselves, the A-Team, they're holed up in Belarus right now. Well, all the countries around Belarus, their buttholes are like puckering up, right? Because, now that Wagner is free agents, if you will, they've got a fairly good reason to pucker their butts. And so, I believe you're going to see a huge, massive military deployment. And I think NATO's going to be full on. I don't think it's going to be a secret or anything like that. You could be looking at what sparks it off. Look, here's the thing. How do you think the United States or any other NATO country are going to respond to Wagner, say, going in and invading Poland? Now, you can't say, well, Russia did it, because, they had a falling out. They slapped each other around a little bit, and I don't know that the United States and or other NATO countries is going to really buy that. And it really doesn't matter, because if another country gets it, and again, Wagner's not a country, it's a group. So what country do they bomb when a group of people cause havoc? It's a good question. That's a real good question, to be honest. You really technically can't go after Russia. Not without NATO being full involved. I would definitely keep a very close eye on this situation. Not going to read all the article. I've got it. I put it out, tweeted it out earlier, and it's a rather long article. There's a fair amount of information. They got a bunch of videos. Just understand there is a big military buildup going on, and I suspect that they will continue to build upon that. Now, speaking in other breaking-esque news, multiple Syrian soldiers killed in Israeli airstrike on Damascus, says state media. This is another place that my ears perk up anytime anything happens, for obvious reason. This here, let me refresh it. This here says Syrian air defenses have been activated to intercept a volley of hostile projectiles in the vicinity of the country's capital, Damascus. The Syrian Arab news agency reported early Monday morning. Multiple explosions were heard in Damascus shortly after 2:20 a.m. as at least one bright flash illuminated the skies, according to an unverified video making rounds online. The Israeli enemy carried out an air attack from the direction of the occupied Golan Heights, targeting some points in the vicinity of the city of Damascus, a military source told SAN, or I'll call it Santa. Syrian air defenses allegedly brought down most of the projectiles, but the attack still led to the death of 4 soldiers and the wounding of 4 others, in addition to limited material losses. Syria's capital, as well as other locations across the country, routinely come at, well, it's going to just talk about the history and them always lobbing missiles into them, and I don't know. I've got my opinions on this. I think this stuff's wrong. Period. Regardless of the excuses that people come up with. Oh, for our security, you know how many times did they bomb the shit out of other countries over lying to you about it being a national security issue? What the hell do you think the whole damn war in the Middle East was? Lies based on, oh my gosh, there's weapons of mass destruction. There's caches, big caches of gold, and you found them. Congratulations. And then drug the entire West into a frickin' 20-year war. But glad you got your gold. Got a little bit of oil too while they were there, and just a little bit of the poppy crop, right? Just a little bit of that. Enough to addict almost an entire nation. And, you know, who's counting? Uh-oh. It's lightning. I'm scared. Let's see. There was a tornado warning north of us earlier. It was north of us, though. I guess we are going to get a little wet. Oh, it's coming. Uh-oh. No-oh. It's actually building, too. So, fun times. You might get to see us taken out by a tornado live on YouTube. Probably not. And if we did, wouldn't that be incredibly ironic? So anyway, I have a feeling that it's only a matter of time before somebody like Russia pokes Israel back. And I don't necessarily mean like on their, land. But, maybe knocking one of these F-16s or F-15s out of the sky might do it. That might do it. What are they going to do? If Russia knocks out an F-16 or F-15, Israeli, of course, Israel ain't going to do shit. What can they do? What can they do? Especially when they rarely ever claim their little raids to begin with. They rarely ever claim their little raids. Is what it is. Is what it is. I mean, if they weren't there, they couldn't have been possibly shot down, right? What's good for the goose? I'm scared. I guess I could have kept it up so I could kind of look at it and talk about being scared. We don't even have a severe thunderstorm warning as of yet, so we'll be okay. Oh, I'm bored. Can you tell? I got the base, and when I say the base, the file work essentially done for the next repaint that I'm gonna do for the airplane. So cannot wait. Gonna be awesome sauce. I'm scared. Scared. Gonna burp. Alright. It sounds like that thing is cranking up. It really does. You can see it building right there. Do a refresh. Yep, they still don't have us in a warning box, so. Alright, well. If you see us go flying through the air, call 911. Telling some dumbass in Highland, Illinois just got wiped out by a tornado. Can you peel him off a tree? Alright. Let's see. Ukraine strikes bridges in Crimea with NATO-supplied missiles. I think that was a snore. Wasn't that a snore? I don't know if that was a snore or... Anyway. Holy cow. Says here, Ukraine has launched a barrage of British-supplied Storm Shadow missiles at two bridges connecting the Crimean Peninsula to Russia's Kherson region, according to its acting governor, Vladimir Saldo. Some 12 missiles were fired during Saturday's attack, with at least 3 making it through Russian anti-aircraft defenses, Saldo told Rossiya 24 TV channel. The strike damaged 2 bridges across the Strait of Chongar and the Tonki Strait, the official stated. Holy cow. That is getting kind of stupid out there. I'm certain that's definitely considered severe at that point. They just haven't updated it on the... I would almost be willing to bet you the National Weather Service has even already declared it, and we're just not seeing it yet. Because I can tell you, that's definitely a severe thunderstorm. I'm surprised they don't have it updated. I'm surprised our phones haven't started going crazy. Well. Yikes, man. Damn, yo. Goes on to say the Chongar Bridge sustained at least one hit, according to the acting governor, who shared imagery of the aftermath of the attack on his Telegram channel. Right there. The missile left a large hole in the bridge deck paving, images show. The attack damaged a rural school and ruptured a local gas pipeline, leaving the nearby town of Ginichesk without supply, according to Saldo. Both bridges have hardly been used for military needs and are purely civilian infrastructure installations, he stressed. While Saldo did not elaborate on the damage sustained by the second bridge, unverified footage circulating online suggests one of its sections has partially collapsed. The images show a gas pipeline running alongside the bridge ruptured and aflame. The bridges linking the northern part of the Crimean Peninsula and Kherson region, well, that goes into the history of before, but, so you can imagine, once again, the skies are going to light up over Ukraine. Yikes, man. It's just rain now. The wind's pretty well. They still don't have the radar updated, though. That's crazy. Should have updated by now. Getting that e-cig set up for nighttime. I gotta rewick the boulder, and I found one more coil for that expensive piece of crap. Who knows? I might have more coils around somewhere for this. I bought a shit ton of them. And I didn't use them because they were for SHTF. And then once I realized there's no way in hell that I could rebuild them, I was like, yeah. And that sucks, because what I paid for the mod and all the damn coils I bought for this one, I could have bought a ton, and I mean a ton, of pods for this cheap thing that works great. Man, that rain is a-coming down. Well, they updated the radar. But they still don't have that deemed as severe. That's surprising. Alright, carry on. More news. Niger closes airspace amid invasion threat. Another area that we ought not to ignore. Says here, Niger's coup-imposed government has promised a vigorous and instantaneous response to any violation of the country airspace as it braces for a potential military intervention after the deadline set by the Economic Community of West Africa states, or ECOWAS, we'll just call them ECOWAS, to reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum to power expired on Sunday. Faced with the threat of intervention, which is becoming clearer from the neighboring countries, Niger's airspace is closed from this day on Sunday until further notice, the military government announced on Sunday night. The statement warned that any attempt to violate the airspace will result in a vigorous and instantaneous response, as cited by AFP. The National Council for the Safeguarding of the Homeland, which assumed power in a military coup last month, claimed that hostile regional forces have already conducted pre-deployment and preparation for the intervention in two unnamed countries of Central Africa. Pardon me. Any state involved will be considered co-belligerent, it added. ECOWAS imposed harsh sanctions and issued a one-week ultimatum to the military leaders last week, threatening to send troops to Niger unless General Abdourahmane Tishani and his cabinet of generals step down and reinstate President Bazoum. The deadline, however, passed unheeded, although the militaries of several ECOWAS members agreed on a plan for potential military intervention in a meeting on Friday. The bloc needs more time to prepare for the invasion, according to the Wall Street Journal. For the moment, we need to build up the strength of our units before taking part in such a military action, a senior commander from one of the ECOWAS countries told the paper. The coup leaders enjoy considerable public support and are backed by the governments of Mali and Burkina Faso, both of which seized power in a recent wave of anti-French unrest. Both countries have promised to treat any ECOWAS invasion as a declaration of war against them. The junta also allegedly asked Russia's Wagner private military company for assistance, but neither the Kremlin nor the Wagner Group have commented on the claims. We will all stand and fight as one people, senior junta official General Mohamed Toumba told a 1,000-strong rally in the Nigerian capital Niamey on Sunday afternoon, urging supporters to stay mobilized. In the meantime, Bazoum has called for a Western military intervention, claiming that unless the U.S. and ECOWAS help him, Wagner will have an open invitation into the region and all of Central Sahel could fall under Russian influence. The U.S. and EU have imposed sanctions on Niger following the coup, and France has declared that it backs ECOWAS' efforts to bring Bazoum, an ally of Paris, back into power. However, the French government has not explicitly stated whether it supports direct military intervention. So again, something you're probably going to want to pay attention to. I think it's pretty well done with us. Yep, they never did mark it as severe. They probably will, though. Anywho, we're all good. Dozens killed in horror train crash. Not going to read the entire article here, but yeah, carrying around 1,000 passengers. Absolutely crazy. It says here, well, let me refresh it. It says here, death toll has grown to at least 30 people with over 90 others injured by Sunday night. I'm sure those numbers will be updated. Man, that is just crazy. Crazy. And those are the headlines I had open to talk about. Other than that, We just got the headlines from Friday. Oh, man. Have a couple of vapes here. Actually, I'll vape from this expensive piece of crap. Now I wished I could make my pink Starburst juice taste like this pink Starburst juice, because this tastes completely 100% dead on. The juice I make, it's a bit off. Needs a bit more of that pink Starburst kind of twang. I don't know. I need to play around with the flavorings I got. Maybe I can come up with something a little closer myself. Maybe use a little bit of peach with it. I've got peach. I think I got quite a bit of peach. I'll have to throw a little peach in there. I think that might bring out that pink. Yeah, next time I mix up some, I'm going to add a little bit. That might do it. That might do it. I think it will. I think it's missing it, to be honest. Anyway. Because when I vape this, I do get a definite peach note. And there is, to the pink Starburst candy, there is definitely a peach note. And in mine that I make here, there's no peach note. That's missing. Yeah, and I think that would round it out. Cool. I'll have to try that. Anywho, you're not here to debate vaping recipes with me. Activist torch. This is Friday's news. Activist torches another Quran in Sweden. Russian port city targeted by naval drones, says Ministry of Defense. By the way, the reason why this whole deal with burning these Qurans in Sweden is a big deal is because, you know, there was a big fight over whether or not it would be allowed. It was ruled that it would be allowed, and then all of a sudden everybody gets the bright idea to burn a Quran. But the issue there is the people that may want to seek retribution for their burning of the Quran may not seek their homes to do so. And they may seek some Swedish government building, or they might target some innocent civilian spot like a supermarket as retribution in their eyes for burning the Quran. So it's really inviting undue attention. I don't recommend doing stuff like that, and if you do, it's on your hands. Any retribution is solely on your hands. I think it's foolishness. It's one thing if you want to burn a nation's flag, but to burn somebody's spiritual book, that goes too far. That goes too far. Way too far. Anyway. I said that one. Russian military thwarts mass drone strike on Crimea. Again, Friday news. Let's see. Chaos erupts at African cultural event in Stockholm. OPEC oil production tumbles, says Bloomberg. EU's LNG imports down to nearly 2-year low, says Bloomberg. Russian military unimpressed by captured Swedish armor. Niger junta recalls envoys. Russia considers exiting nuclear test ban deal, says media, which would then open the nations up to once again be doing their big testing. That's not a good thing. African states call for EU to unblock Russian fertilizer shipments. Denmark strengthens border controls. Moscow issues update on Ukrainian casualties during counteroffensive. Putin and African leaders publish joint statement on Ukraine. Russia becomes Europe's biggest economy, says a report. West trying to lure nations with Zelensky peace plan, says Moscow. Russia doubts U.S. proclamations on grain deal, says Kremlin. Poland pledges to keep border closed to Ukrainian grain. U.S. has no illusions about Ukrainian counteroffensive, says Pentagon. Again, Friday's news. Navalny sentenced to 19 years in prison. Russia to impose windfall tax on large businesses. Majority of Americans believe U.S. has done enough for Ukraine, says a poll. Ruble dives to 17-month low against euro. Let's see. Danish opposition parties protest plan to ban Quran burning. Let's see. China slams Italy over Belt and Road exit comments. Zelensky decries revolting military recruitment practices. Ukraine fights narrative battle as counteroffensive stalls, says NBC. TikTok influencer guilty of murder. U.S. Warhawk claims Trump would quit NATO. Probably so. I would support him in that. UN yanks human rights observers from Uganda. Austrian Chancellor makes cash pledge. EU state will order Russians to leave. China to send delegation to Ukraine peace summit. Asians are less humane, says Ukrainian security chief. Imagine that. Traffic on Crimea Bridge halted. Again, Friday. New York Times supports calls for genocide, says Elon Musk. YouTuber sparks riot in New York. Trump makes cryptic threat. Again, all Friday. Oil tanker hit in suspected Black Sea drone strike, says media. And U.S. military suffers unprecedented leadership void. That was all Friday stuff. No, I haven't tried the applesauce. We haven't gotten any. We're starting Saturday's news. If I recall, there wasn't a whole lot yesterday. Nah, I think Peach will bring that all the way home. I really do. Yep. I think it'll wrap those flavors together nicely. Man, I can't wait to try it. start out with, I don't know, 3% peach. That sounds about right. Let's see. Have to update my little recipe I have online. We value your privacy. Whatever. Just stop. Just log me in, man. Just log me in. I want my recipes. Where's my recipes? My recipes. I want pink. Well, which one? The latest one. I need to probably get rid of one. Let me double check this one. Fruit Chew Candy Pink Burst. Yeah. This one I think I'm gonna edit. Yeah. 120 milligrams, 6 milligrams strength. 70-30 nicotine strength, 100 milligrams, 50-50. Yesm. And we're gonna add flavor. And it's gonna be TPA. Oh, well, hang on. Peach, TPA, right there at 3%. Yup. Save. Bam, yo. Sweetness. I know you wanted to learn that. I didn't want to forget it. I would have forgot it. So it's like, do it now or forget. Of course, now I have to remember to actually go look at the recipe because I've actually got the other recipe printed out on a piece of paper that I normally use. And I don't even know why I use a recipe because I've got it memorized. I don't know. I do dumb things sometimes. Venezuelan leader accuses U.S. over drone assassination attempt. Prosecutors want Trump silenced over implied threat. Saudi Arabia extends oil production cut. Russia-UAE trade skyrocketing, says Bloomberg. Ukrainian F-16 training impeded by language barrier, says Politico. Well, that's not as bad as getting their pronouns wrong. Russia makes a new pledge to help balance the oil market. U.S. turning Taiwan into another Ukraine, says Russia's top MP. Chocolate set to be more expensive as cocoa prices soar. Better leave my cocoa pebbles alone. Russian gas-fueled German industry, says Uniper. You know, cocoa pebbles, the fine chocolate. Ex-Pakistani PM Imran Khan jailed for 3 years. Iran and Russia seek to deepen ties between free trade zones. Security chief explains why Ukraine can't produce nuclear weapons. You have to explain that? British banks to abandon racist term black market. I wonder if they're going to get rid of Black Friday. I mean, it's silly when you understand the meaning for them being called that. It wasn't called the black market because it was mostly black people that dealt in the market. No. And it wasn't, it just, because it was underworldly, often associated with dark or black. Not the people, the color. Imagine that. Let's see. Ukraine sanctions top exporters. Exporters over playing on Russian team. E-sporters. That's it. E-sporters. I get it now. Moscow shares details of 1-on-8 armored clash. 21,000 undetected migrants entered UK last year, says The Times. Zelensky fears peace pressure from the West, says New York Times. Russian star sues New York Opera for $360,000. Medvedev hints at more attacks on Ukrainian ports. Diarrhea strikes at World Triathlon Championships. Well, that's shitty. EU state threatens to close border with Russia's main ally. Ukraine, I was wrong about not being many news headlines yesterday. Apparently there were a shit ton. Ukraine shells Donetsk with cluster munitions, says reports. Iran responds to U.S. military moves with more firepower. Any real talks on Ukraine should include Russia, says Brazil. And we are to today's news. Coffee. Because coffee makes the world go round. It keeps people sane. And it keeps a whole lot of people undead. Coffee. All right, Musk promises to help canceled workers sue their employers. Oh, I don't know about it being locked. I didn't have a show on Friday, but I didn't lock it. I did do the show cancellation thing, and maybe that did that automatically or something. I don't know, but I should be there this Friday. And asked me when I canceled it if I just was canceling the one show or like the series, and I just canceled the one show, so it should be available to get in. I'll have to check it out. And see if it did something else to it. Let's see. Musk promises to help canceled workers sue. Oh, I read that one. UK fears Chinese spy cars, says the Telegraph. Chinophobia. I mean, come on, folks. You know, when you let another nation supply you with like 80% of your goods, you got nobody to blame but yourself. That's the sad truth. A major Russian power producer eyes Africa presence. Russia sees surge in foreign tourism. Germany reveals extent of military aid to Ukraine. Turkey seeking to reinstate grain deal, says media. Drone attack on Moscow thwarted, says mayor. Baltic states seek to disconnect from Russian power grid. Russia reveals projected economic growth for 2023. Poland shuts down section of Russian oil pipeline. Donald Trump vows to prosecute Biden if elected. Haven't we heard that once before? EU state wants to enshrine right to cash in Constitution. Russia to discuss Ukraine peace talks with BRICS partners. Algeria opposes Niger military intervention, says president. Ukraine strikes... Oh, I covered that one. Pork prices hit 8-year high in Russia. Ukraine warns of significant weapons shortage. Well, let me play you the world's smallest violin. Japan ignores U.S. role on Hiroshima bombing anniversary. Imagine that. A YouTuber charged after giveaway chaos, says media. Oscar-winning actor apologizes for anti-Semitic Instagram post. New York Times misinterpreted Peskov's words, says the Kremlin. Right on, alrighty. Man. Hang on. Let's see. Zelensky advisor cast doubt on future relations with Poland. A Russian senator promises new offensive in Ukraine. Let's see. And that's it. I covered the rest. Computer says we have thunderstorms. You don't say. I think you're a little late. Just a little. Yep, see, they did wind up marking that cell severe that moved through here. It was definitely severe as it passed through here. I didn't mean to rhyme all the time, but it's the only way I can make a dime. I could go on and on, but I won't. Anyway, I am going to get off of here. Otherwise, I'll just jabber and give you guys plenty of ammunition against me. Anyway, I'm out of here. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow. Hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.